and
Yes.
Bishop Dwayne David Royster.
And sitting across from me is the one, the only, the Reverend Dr. Mark Kelly, IMAME Tyler.
Yeah, I like that one. That'll work. Hashtag I am AME.
Yes.
And as I say every day, the glue that holds this show together, and so many other things here at WURD Radio is none other than the Queen herself. That's right, not from England, America's Queen, pride of South Jersey, Kawesa.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm all right. I feel a little more tired than the other day, but I'm good. I'm here. I made it. I made it in.
Wait a minute. You were all hyped up yesterday, all like, in this great space, and today you're tired?
Yep.
Wow. Wow. I mean, I was really shocked because you were just so giddy yesterday. I was like, wow, check this out. This is awesome.
I know, it's like a full 180.
Understood. That does happen. It does indeed happen. How was your ride in today?
Not bad. Really no traffic. So I did well, driving in. And the weather, it's not like, it's muggy. It's not pleasant out there. I mean, I don't think I feel like there's pockets of rain in little areas here and there. And it's just, it's foggy. So I wore yellow today. So then that way I could be my own little ray of sunshine.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. We appreciate you sharing that. We can't actually see you, but we appreciate you sharing that. That's very nice. That's very nice. Thank you for that, Koisa. We appreciate you.
Well, speaking of sunshine, I'm back from the Sunshine State.
Mm-hmm.
And the weather was crap.
You were mean the whole time anyway.
Yeah, but I mean, man, it was just like, oh, bro. Because I rode the motorcycle down, right? Well, I rode a friend's bike down. That's a whole long story. I was in Florida 2 weeks ago on a big ride. My bike broke down in Florida. Frat brother said, you can ride my bike back to Philly and bring it back for your meeting. That's how frat, that's what frat do.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it was just like beautiful weather going down. I mean, it was like hot, but just sunny from Philly to the Georgia-Florida state line, literally.
Mm-hmm.
And I crossed over there, like got to Brunswick, Georgia, and brother, never saw the sun again for like a week.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it was just like the Wizard of Oz kind of looking weather.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, oh yeah, well, you keep thinking like every cloud is a potential tornado.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Riding on a bike is no joke in those circumstances.
Exactly. If I got a ticket of an officer, do you see those clouds? I was just trying to get to my next destination. I suggest you do the same thing. Let's cut it short. You know what I mean? Yeah, so, no, but the Sunshine State was didn't live up to a reputation, but it was hot as AMEs from around the world held a COVID-style general conference, which is our largest governing body that meets every 4 years. We hosted in Philadelphia in 2016, and but yeah, this is our 51st session. We've been doing that since 1816. And for the first time, because of COVID, we were scheduled to be on 2 continents simulcast, in Philly and in South Africa. But because of COVID restrictions then in South Africa and a number of the other countries, people had to Zoom in from home from multiple spots. Man, it was, wow. It was a challenge. You know how your church tech team feels after a Sunday morning when things don't go great?
Yes.
Imagine that with like 40 countries like yelling at you.
I mean, this is part of the flexibility that has to come with being in the COVID environment. The United Church of Christ is in their General Synod right now, and it's all virtual. None of it's, I'm not a delegate this year, so I don't know how they're even managing the voting piece and all that stuff, but they're making it, they're working it.
Bro, it is, I mean, it's just another reminder that, we have not yet completely turned the corner on COVID, though a lot of us are able to go around without masks because we've been vaccinated and to move around freely. In fact, on Philly.com has a great piece on their homepage. If you just go to Philly.com and scroll down to the bottom under Health and Science, You might like this. It shows fully vaccinated residents in our local counties, the 5 Philadelphia counties, and then the 3 that border us in South Jersey. So Bucks, Chester, Delaware, Montgomery, obviously Philly, Burlington, Camden, and Gloucester. And it'll show you in real time the total population vaccinated, those who are 65 and over in each county, 18 and over, 12 and over. And Delco is killing it.
Are they?
Delaware County is leading. They have, of the 65 and older folk, 87% vaccinated fully.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, Philly is kind of met the federal standard, which is 69.4, so it's almost 70%. Montco 70%. These are 65 and over folks. But you know where we're failing is the 18 and over. While Delaware County is at 67% for 18 and over, Philadelphia County is down. It's only 52%. We're lagging behind every other county around us. Only half of the people 18 to, I guess, 65 have taken an opportunity to get fully vaccinated, and that's a problem.
Absolutely. Well, we got to encourage folk to go get their vaccinations and get that done. That's an important piece if we're going to really be able to open back up, and especially, as we head back into a season shortly when people will be back in buildings again.
Yeah. Well, at least we're not look, a lot of these southern states are hitting spikes again, and because people just refuse to get it. And
they listen to Trump too much. That's what the problem is.
Hey, bro.
That's another story.
Wow. Who would do that?
Those nuts that are down there passing all those crazy voting laws and thinking that, the whole thing was a hoax. It's no hoax, people. It's no hoax. My wife just lost her second friend this past weekend to COVID in 2 months. It's still very powerfully active out there, and it's taking people out.
Wow. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Because they weren't vaccinated?
This was they've had it for like 3 months. This is both of them are long haulers, so this was a real challenge. So
that's interesting. You should say that. First of all, like I said again, certainly our condolences. But one of the first news stories I heard this morning was a report from one of the up and coming. It's past the Masters, so I think this may be the PGA Open. I'm not exactly sure which big tournament's coming. It may even have been the Olympics, but like 17 pro golfers have pulled out of the tournament, citing the effects of COVID.
Wow.
They had it, and just saying right now they're just not themselves yet.
Yeah, I mean it's sort of like COVID has effects that last long beyond the period when you are actually actively with COVID. There's a bunch of, subsequent conditions that you can get, real challenges that come along, and folk need to be aware of that. And, just be sensitive to the impact that it's had on people's lives, their bodies, even, their own notion of interaction with other people.
Wow. That is, again, like I said, we've got to especially if you are unvaccinated, you have really got to, take your health seriously. And I know people are scared. Look, there was a story about J&J once again in the news recently this week about a very, very, very small group of people who are having a reaction related to their nerves.
Yeah.
And so at this point, I think maybe we should just abandon the whole idea of like continually manufacturing J&J, because it only takes a few stories like that. I mean, it's not that the drug is not working, because there's still far more people whose lives have been saved because of J&J than people who lost their lives. So it is definitely in the plus category.
Right.
But the branding of it,
right.
That's all. That's all anti-vaxxers need, is a story like that.
Yeah.
See, I told you.
That is that's unfortunate. When folk getting conditions and getting side effects from the vaccination, that have long-lasting effects, and I think that that's part of the challenge. Although there is no there's no vaccine out there that has come along that doesn't have something somewhere along the line. I mean, you get a flu shot. you know,
Right.
every time I get a flu shot, the next day I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, off my feet for like 24 hours, but then it's fine. I bounce back and, you're ready and good to go. So there's, medication has side effects. And even common everyday medications have side effects, and we just, we learn to live with them. Unfortunately, some of these side effects have been very costly in terms of people's health. But, as I've heard Dr. Fauci say again, in many circumstances, not all, but in many circumstances, the the benefit outweighs the risk. And so you still take the shot and do what you have to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wow. So, bro, like I've been gone for a week.
Yep.
I'm trying to keep in touch. What did I miss?
What, in Philadelphia?
Yeah. I know. I think I set the trash out like a week ago before I left. It's still there. But I mean, aside from that, sorry, Anton. Anton, my boy Anton is he's gonna be like, Rev, really? You too?
A two brute.
Sorry, Anton. It was right there on the rim, bro. I just had to put it in.
I mean, Philly doesn't change very much. Pennsylvania doesn't change very much in the course of 1 week. We are not exactly the swiftest people to make change in the world. So I don't know. I mean, we are out of the championships. We're not in the Sixers didn't do what they needed to do. Was that before you left?
Oh my God. Come on, let's go to the next thing. It was like a month ago.
Well, I don't track that stuff. You know me. I don't track any of that stuff. So it's like
we know you don't. It's just so funny.
I'll pay any attention to sports, and I know Raphael's out there right now talking about Rev. If you're going to do the show, you got to pay attention to sports. I do pay attention to sports, Raphael. Politics is my sport. That's what I pay attention to. That's what I'm looking at and seeing what's going on. So yes, yeah. So let me see.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what I know that is happening. So I came back right on time because today Joe Biden is going to be in town.
Yes.
And not just, it's not just to throw out a pitch at the Phillies game or something like that, but he is here to talk about voting rights.
That's right.
And voter suppression, something that Democrats have been on him about. It's coincidentally in Texas, the Democrats have once again, run out of the state so that the Republicans can't have a quorum to vote, which is again, I mean,
they didn't just leave the chambers.
Right. Where did they go?
They left the state.
But wait, this time they're going to D.C. That's the funniest thing. They're going to D.C. to see Joe Biden, but Biden is here talking about voting suppression. They should come to Philly.
Absolutely.
And we should make cheesesteaks for them and use some of their barbecue cheesesteaks, and just kind of ride this thing out. But I mean, look, as funny as it is, this is like high stakes stuff.
That's
because right. The election last year was won by the tightest of margins in a lot of places. I mean, Warnock in Georgia, Ossoff in Georgia, these were very tight margins, and now these states are instituting repressive measures. Biden is speaking about it publicly from a national level. In Texas, they're running out. In Pennsylvania, they're trying the same shenanigans. If not for a Democratic governor in Tom Wolf, it would have been the same thing in this state as well.
Well, there's more to that than that, right? So there was House Bill 1300 that Wolf vetoed. Mm-hmm. However, the move from the Republicans in Pennsylvania right now is that they want to be able to move beyond the governor's veto. And so their plan is to take the voting rights, especially voter ID, that they have talked about, and turn it into a constitutional ballot initiative in the state of Pennsylvania. So that would take it directly to the people. And so there's ways that they're going to try to avoid having to worry about a governor's veto, because they think, and if they choose the right election, which is a low turnout election, their folk will turn out more than Democratic folk or independent folk who actually don't believe in all this draconian voting rights. And they will be able to get the voting rights limitations that they want in the state of Pennsylvania in that bill, in the Constitution. So then it doesn't just become a issue that the Supreme Court can turn over. If it becomes constitutional, then there's nothing the Supreme Court can do about it except uphold it.
So, but why don't? So listen. All right. That's scary. But why is it that Democrats, if you know this is coming, you know they're going to use a low turnout election like they just did, right, to pass the bill to pass the law.
Powers. Yeah.
Right. Emergencies. Why not anticipate that and put something equally as, that fires your base up as just as much and put that on the same ballot?
Well, here's the thing. In the state of Pennsylvania, the only people that can actually, outside of Philadelphia, you can do ballot initiatives for Philadelphia, but no other municipality in the state of Pennsylvania can do that except their governing bodies. And it's the same thing for the state of Pennsylvania. The only ones that can actually put a ballot initiative on the ballot to be voted on are the House and the Senate. They both have to agree. It's got 2 cycles. They have to vote for it. And as long as the Republicans are in the majority, because it only takes 51%, they'll be able to put constitutional amendments on the ballot, and the Democrats will not be able to get theirs on.
Good
So
Lord.
Pennsylvania is very antiquated when it comes to ballot initiatives, but they can only be put on the ballot if there is an agreement between the House and the Senate, which are both dominated by Republicans in the state of Pennsylvania. So Democrats will never be able to get anything on there until they take those bodies back.
Oh, man. On that note, we got to take a quick break. And if you're on Facebook, hit the share button. And Sterling McCall, speaking of Facebook, I just noticed your comment. 2 of my friends under 40 years old passed from COVID-19 in the same month. Our prayers and condolences are for you as well. And let that be a reminder. This is no joke. Let's get folk who are 18 and over vaccinated. We'll be right back.
They're back.
Everyone's ready.
Platinum Shows presents the Dell Music Center Summer Series. Sunday, August 1st, it's Jeffrey Osborne. On the Wings of Love. Peebo Bryson. I'm so into you. And Regina Bell. Then Sunday, August 15th, it's the Basement Party with Big Daddy Kane. Baby Cool Mo D. EPMD, Nice and Smooth. The Sugar Hill Gang with the Furious 5 featuring Grandmaster Melly Mel and Scorpio. Roxanne Shante. And Tough Crew. Then Sunday, September 5th, Labor Day weekend, it's the Party in the Park with the Whispers. Stephanie Mills. And After 7. Tickets available at the Dell box office and Ticketmaster.com. For more information, log on to ppshows.com.
Support small, Black, and Brown-owned businesses by joining the Diverse Procurement Collaborative, a community of business leaders committed to supplier diversity. Get engaged at chamberphl.com.
The WURD Radio Newsletter, keeping you informed, engaged, and connected. Sign up by visiting wordradio.com. Scroll to the bottom of the page and type your email address under Connect with Us. You'll receive the latest information on WURD Radio, messages from our president and CEO, Sarah Lomax Reese, exclusive articles and multimedia content, and resources. Stay informed with the WURD Radio Newsletter. Now, a traffic update on WURD Radio.
Pretty good start here in Philadelphia this morning. 95 southbound, not a bad ride. Coming down through the Vine Expressway into Center City. Looks pretty good. Northbound side, no major problems. The Vine Expressway light through Center City, Philadelphia. Schuylkill Expressway east and westbound in pretty good shape. Same thing on the PA Turnpike and the Blue Route 476, 42, 55, 295. No major problems there in South Jersey as of yet. For more traffic information, log on to sigalert.com. Jim Bachman with your Philadelphia area traffic.
Now, a WURD weather update. Here's NBC 10 First Alert meteorologist Bill Henley.
Off to a steamy start with storms possible this afternoon. This morning, skies become partly sunny. Will warm to 83 degrees at lunchtime and a high of 91 that will feel like it's close to 100. Afternoon showers and thunderstorms could come with some strong winds. and downpours through the afternoon and into the evening hours. By Wednesday, less of a chance of an afternoon shower, but still steamy, a high of 90. It'll feel like it's close to 100. Plenty of sunshine, a hot day Thursday, but a break from the storms, up to 93 Thursday afternoon. I'm NBC 10 First Alert meteorologist Bill Henley.
You're listening to WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD, independent black media.
Welcome back to the Power Hour. Sorry, this is Dwayne Royster along with Mark Kelly Tyler. We're here Monday through Fridays from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. to bring you the latest in news, happenings around Philadelphia, and, of course, our opinions. And we have plenty of them.
We're opinionless. What are you talking about?
We don't have any opinions?
No. We just kind of go with the flow, man. Hey, I hope that sounds better to you all out there. You know, I think my microphone was still suffering some, still thought it was in Florida with all that humidity.
It wanted a vacation from it was still wanting to go back to Florida and be on vacation.
Man, Florida in the summer sucks. I'm going to tell you right now, bro. That you only want to do Florida in the winter. Florida in the summer sucks.
Wow, I don't. Why would you? I mean, it was just hot. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm like, look, every time every organization that I belong to, for some reason, at some point wants to do one of our big summer meetings in Florida. And I'm like, why?
Dude, no.
It's just, no, man.
I got one for you. So I used to work for this healthcare company called VistaCare Hospice, which doesn't exist anymore. And VistaCare was based in Scottsdale, Arizona. And every year, they had their national meeting in Scottsdale, Arizona in August.
Good Lord.
We used to stay at these really beautiful, swanky hotels. Everything was gorgeous in Scottsdale, and everybody knows that Scottsdale is it's one of the playgrounds for the rich, right? They go out there, they hang out in Arizona, but they do it in the winter.
Right.
Not in the middle of August. So I actually had the chance to see the hotel bill. Now, granted, this is almost 20 years ago, but we were staying in these fancy, swanky suites, the whole 9 yards. We were paying $35 a night. The temperature outside hit 117 degrees on the golf course. They were throwing big blocks of ice cube in the outdoor swimming pool to bring the water temperature back down. So that's what VistaCare did every August when we had to go out and you had to go to the meeting that was a part of the job, right? You know, you go to the national directors meeting and everybody is out there sweltering. It was just sweltering.
See, look, Robert Garland says Oakland is lovely in August, right? You go places like that, like you go to Seattle, you go to Portland, and they can get hot too, but it's a different kind of heat. There's no humidity in those places. You do, LA, you do the Bay Area. That's where you want to be in the summer.
But the Bay is freezing sometimes in the middle of the summer.
Well, right. I can't think who if it was Tony Bennett or Sinatra, one of them said the coldest winter they ever had was the summer in San Francisco, something to that effect.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's just, I don't know, man. Global warming is not making it better. It was 130 degrees in Death Valley last week.
I think it almost broke a record, something like that. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, the record was 131, and so now you know why they call it Death Valley.
Yeah, it's hot. It's hot. And here's the thing, when I remember being in Arizona, everybody was like, oh, it's dry heat. It's dry heat. I'm like, I hate to tell you something. 117 degrees? It's 117 degrees. I don't care whether it's dry or not. It's 117 degrees outside. It's hot.
Man, that is like crazy. Hey, have you heard of this new
Nicky O'Tim said Tony Bennett was the one that said that.
Tony Bennett. Thank you, Nicky O'Tim. Right on. Shout out to YouTube as well. Mm-hmm. Have you heard of this new representative out of North Carolina? I think he won the old seat vacated by Mark Meadows when he went to work for Trump, if I'm not mistaken. But he's the youngest member of Congress. He's 25 years old, Republican out of North Carolina, Madison Cawthorn.
Name does not ring a bell.
Yeah, it will at some point.
He's not relevant yet, or I guess he's becoming relevant.
So first of all, shout out to him. He's, he is permanently in a wheelchair.
Oh,
And
wow.
so the fact that he won is incredible, but that's where the story kind of ends. I mean, that's where it's like, then beside that, he's been doing really controversial things. So as a candidate, it didn't help him that he posted pictures on Instagram about 3 or 4 years before, in the Eagle's Nest. The Eagle's Nest is the vacation home of the late Adolf Hitler.
Oh, geez.
The leader of the Third Reich, who tried to kill everybody in the world that didn't believe like him. That guy. And the picture he posted with his brother, they're grinning up there in the Eagle's Nest. It was a part of his bucket list, he said. I mean, I got bucket lists, like ride a motorcycle around the world. It doesn't include going to see where Hitler chilled. But, to each his own, to each her own. But he's saying, I think it was controversial then because he said, the way he wrote, I'm going to read it. The vacation house of the Fuhrer. Seeing the Eagle's Nest has been on my bucket list for a while, and it did not disappoint, yada, yada, yada. The fact that he gave him reverence, I mean, the only people that called him the Fuhrer were people who, that was his official title that you would say if you, worked for him, if you were a Nazi.
Right.
Everybody else has called him, Adolf Hitler, scumbag, murderer, mass murderer, creator and architect of genocide, less flattering terms. Okay, he survived that and he still won election. Now, fast forward to right now, and he's back in the news because he's trying to slam Black Lives Matter this week. And in doing so, he rolls out a tweet that says the American flag symbolizes unity, patriotism, independence, pride, and love for our country. BLM continues to expose their radical hatred of this country. Now, here's the problem. That statement went along with the picture he tweeted. The picture has a bunch of American flags, for sure, being carried in a Nazi march in America with a man who's holding the flag with a black t-shirt with the white letters that say skinhead, holding the hand of what looks to be about a 5 or 6 year old boy, his son probably, who's wearing a red t-shirt with a huge swastika.
This is his kid?
That's his, not the guy's kid, not Madison's kid, but it's like some kid. So the picture, I guess he got caught up in looking at the image of the American flags that he never stopped to look at the fact that it's a skinhead with a kid in a swastika t-shirt, and you're tweeting to BLM that BLM is about radical hatred and the American flag. And what he's responded to is BLM said that the American flag, when they see it, represents hostility and anger and hatred toward black folk, pretty much.
That's pretty accurate, actually.
And so to make the counterpoint, he rolls out what? A picture of American Nazis? And it took, wait, hold on. And it took him 2 full days to take the tweet down. He dug his heels in, and it took him 2 days to finally say, okay, I give. That's probably not in good taste.
So
he'll be a presidential candidate for the Republicans. I say 10. Well, he has to be of a certain age. Give him a little
35,
time.
Yeah, he's got to be 35.
Give him about a dime. He'll be a presidential candidate.
Yeah. What I find amusing is all these white dudes that are running around supporting white supremacy, but they themselves do not meet the particular ideas of what the Aryan nation was supposed to be about. For example, he does not have blonde hair. Well, I can't see his eyes. He doesn't look like he has blue eyes.
And he's in a wheelchair.
Yeah, he's in a wheelchair. So he would not even make the standard, although Hitler himself did not make the standard, but when they had the boys and the girls groups that they were doing, that they were going after the Aryan. So the blonde hair, blue eyes, those were all the images that they were trying to superimpose, and this was supposed to be the pure race of the Aryan nation. So why these dudes who, for all intents and purposes, would be second-class citizens in the Nazi environment, running around celebrating this guy that would not, I mean, Hitler would not even have celebrated him for how he looks or how he is. Why do they do this? I do not understand.
Well, I mean, look, yeah, I don't know. All I know is that this is like the new, remember when we were like in our 20s or 30s, when we were thinking this new generation will reject all the evil and hatred of the past, and this will, as new younger white folk grow up, they'll be free of, the bigotry and hostility that their parents had and all of that, blah, blah, blah. This dude is 25 years old. 25. And again, you would think as a person who is disabled that you would that you would have an understanding more than anybody else and a special sensitivity that, that the last thing you want to prop up are people who have this idea of quote unquote purity, because you certainly would not fit that test no matter what you look like, right? And now, again, he said when he took the picture in the Eagle's Nest that, I was just going to celebrate America's victory over Hitler. I wasn't there to celebrate him. But then you connected with this story, and dude, it's not like somebody else like tweeted this out. You tweeted it out.
Yeah.
For some reason, you or someone on your staff selected this image. It was immediately brought to your attention, like, I don't know, 2 minutes after you tweeted it. And it took 2 days for you to bring this down. I mean, this just tells you right now, again, that we are, not to get all biblical, I know I'm going to get Raphael started, but that we wrestle not with flesh and blood.
Yes,
about spiritual wickedness in high places, principalities, so to speak.
Powers in darkness. Yes, sir.
You understand? And so that the spirit that we are wrestling with is the same spirit that our ancestors contended with, and sadly that our children, grandchildren, and our descendants will have to wrestle with. So we may as well just buckle down and stop waiting for this, group of people to be born and raised that will somehow be free of this, because that spirit is going to always be around. So what do we have to do? We've got to resist.
Absolutely.
25 years old.
Yeah, well, I mean, he got indoctrinated at an early age. Now I got some questions because I'm trying to figure out, like, was he in the military and got injured, or was he like this since he was a child, or what? I mean, where did he get indoctrinated? Was this his family? It could very well be his family. I mean, the picture I'm looking at is in the Citizens Times, and I got to be honest, he looks arrogant as I don't know what sitting here in this picture.
Yeah.
So, but then again, I'm like, here's the thing. They like part history, right? They like part history. So they like the history, as Sheila said, or you said that they like the hate component, but they don't really understand the full history behind it, because if he understood the full history, he would know he would not qualify to be in the upper echelons of the Third Reich.
No, that's Sheila's quote. She says on Facebook, these new day Nazi lovers are totally ignorant about the actual movement. They just know they like the hate component of it. I echo. Hey, I couldn't hit like enough on a comment like that.
Absolutely.
It's like what like what people kept saying when Trump was coming around was, what? Yeah, he's an idiot. Yeah, he says like all kind of off-brand, off-color stuff I don't agree with, but he hates who I hate, therefore I like him.
They're trying to use that. What's that? The Sun Tzu from the Art of War. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Is that what it is?
Basically.
I mean, it's not helpful, and it really. Come on, folks. Can we get a little deeper? Can we get just a little bit deeper? Can we actually do some historic research and understand, how these things work?
Yeah, somebody just came in a little late who joined us before we were ready to go to break. We're talking about Madison. Oh God, what is this guy's last name? Cawthorn. Yeah, thank you. He is a new member of the United States House of Representatives from North Carolina. He is 25 years old, and for some inexplicable reason, to make a point to Black Lives Matter that the American flag is about unity, not hatred, he tweeted a picture of a American neo-Nazi rally where a guy with a T-shirt that says skinhead. I'm not calling him a skinhead. His T-shirt says skinhead, is carrying a flag. And by the way, his little son, it appears, or nephew or whatever little kid he got to come to the rally with him, 5 or 6 year old, is wearing a red T-shirt with a huge black Nazi swastika on it. And it took him 2 days and tons of public pressure to finally take the tweet down.
Wow. Oh, wait a minute. Cawthorn defended himself, saying his wife is of mixed race and would have been targeted by the Nazis.
You know, some of my best friends are white. We got to take a break. This is the Power Hour. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back on the other side. Jeez, help me. Keep me near the cross.
This Word Wellness vignette is brought to you by Penn Medicine. Word Radio presents the following wellness tip to support our listeners with mindfulness and motivation.
Hi, this is Halana, your resident health and wellness coach with tips to help you stay well. Have you ever heard someone say, "You're way too serious," and you thought, they couldn't be talking about me? Well, let's face it, sometimes the hardships of life get our faces and our moods all tied in a bunch. Sometimes we forget to smile and enjoy life's simple things. Lightening your life with laughter can look like this. Number 1, watch a funny movie by yourself or with family. Number 2, revisit your favorite comedian's stand-up special. Number 3, doodle, draw, or play a card game with the children in your life. See the world through their eyes. We sometimes think in order to laugh, we have to do specific things. Yet, we can choose to find joy all around us every day. Go ahead and try it today. Stay well with Word. Happy living.
Stay well with Word. Connect with us at wordradio.com. This Word Wellness vignette was brought to you by Penn Medicine.
Remember the last time your family visited the forest? It's a place of wonder and imagination for the whole family, where stories come to life, and it's closer than you think. Ready to plan your next visit? Make the forest part of your story today at a local park near you, or find one at discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
The Black Words Book Club. Word Radio's conversation on books that explore the African American experience through social, economic, and environmental justice issues. Tune in the second Tuesday of every month on Evening Words with Nick Taliaferro, 4 p.m. till 7 p.m. The Black Words book for July is White Evangelical Racism, The Politics of Morality in America by Penn's Dr. Anthea Butler. Be sure to listen live, as Nick Taliaferro will hold a contest for a giveaway book bundle that consists of 4 titles from Kensington's Defina's Authors of Color's newest release. Don't miss it, Tuesday, July 13th on Evening Words with Nick Taliaferro. Attention for Word members. Get your copy and receive a 20% discount when you purchase at Harriet's Bookstore or Hakeem's Bookstore. For more information on the Black Words Book Club, visit wordradio.com. The Black Words Book Club is sponsored by Defina. Defina is an imprint of Kensington Publishing Corporation, America's independent publisher, concentrating on authors of color. You're listening to Word Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD, independent black media.
Welcome back to the Power Hour. This is Dwayne Royster along with Mark Kelly Tyler. Hey, I've just been reading some more about this dude. This guy is frightening. First of all, the reason he's paralyzed, partially paralyzed, he was in a car accident 7 years ago. Well, actually 8 years ago now. He actually got married in 2020 to his bride, who he says is mixed race. I don't see that. She's a fitness instructor and a social media influencer. This is actually from People magazine. I got this information. And he's actually really kind of dangerous. When he was filling out his political staff in Washington, he told his Republican colleagues that he built his staff around communications, not around public policy.
Mm-hmm.
So his job was, and because he married a social media influencer, right? So he's trying to make a name for himself through social media and doing everything that he did. The other thing is that he actually spoke at the rally on January 6th before folk went to the Capitol. So he was one of the speakers at Trump's rally, the Stop the Steal rally that Trump had put out. So, you know, he said he probably should have encouraged more peace, but he didn't regret the speech that he gave at that rally that eventually led to the insurrection. So, unbelievable. Unbelievable.
That may have also been on his bucket list.
Hey, start an insurrection. Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, you know, what white supremacist who, you know, worships Adolf Hitler wouldn't want to start an insurrection, right?
And we're definitely not saying that that's what he is. You're just asking a question in general, like what I mean, because white supremacists love that kind of stuff. But he's done some very questionable things. I think the thing that just, again, for me, it's, dude, you're 25. You're too young for this. I mean, you're 25. You grew up in America. You had to, and if you're a young white kid, that means probably most of your musical influences are black folk. Most of your sports icons are black folk. I mean, I'm just taking a wild guess here. You know, you said your wife is mixed race, social media influencer, and, you know, you're tweeting pictures of things that were all about the genocide and elimination of all of that. And I mean, look, it's one thing to make a mistake and shoot a picture out in haste where it's like, I'm going to show Black Lives Matter. Blah, 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 blah. Let me grab a quick image. And I mean, you know, who hasn't done that before, right? You see what you want to see in the picture, you shoot it out. But you can't tell me that as a United States, as a member of the United States House of Representatives, that you didn't have colleagues blowing your phone up within 5 minutes. Like, Madison, dude, take that down. Oh, that wouldn't be very Trumpy of me. Trump says you never apologize.
Well, I mean, look, if you are bold enough and you believe if your whole thing is about social media context and getting likes or creating controversy online so that you can get a discussion going and, you know, build your base that way, then you don't take it down, because that's actually the more controversial you are online, the more risque you are online, the better off your profile is going to be. And you're going to collect haters at the same time because they just want to see what you're going to do next. So it makes sense that it took him 2 days to take it down. And I'm sure his staff probably helped him pick out the picture.
Well, that's what staffs do.
This
right?
is, yeah, I mean, Twanda said he's catering to his base. Yeah, I actually think you're right about that.
Yeah, so, yeah, that's right. And he's also been, thank you, Joanne Kemp, he's been accused of sexual misconduct. Wow. Speaking of which, happy belated birthday. Yesterday was Bill Cosby's 84th birthday. What? Something just made me think of, what?
I can't believe that you switched up like that.
I just wanted to wish the Cos a happy birthday.
That was cruel, man. That was cruel.
What's cruel about saying happy belated birthday to somebody?
That's just the whole transition. It was a very interesting segue.
You think that was because? Oh, bro, no, man, no. You misread what I was doing there. I had been meaning to say it all morning. I missed it. I wasn't on air yesterday, so I couldn't wish him a happy birthday on the 12th of July, which is his actual birthday.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Kyle's got a birthday. It's a whole different birthday for him. He thought he'd be celebrating it, you know, inside. He's outside now. And did you guys talk about his comedy tour?
No, we did not talk. Well, I think we might have mentioned the fact that he was contemplating it, but we have not talked about it more in depth.
Yeah, they shut it down.
Yeah, that's
Robert, that was a little weird. Yeah, it was a little weird. It was on purpose. But hey, listen, guys, you all know me by now. You all get my sense of humor. I know it's sick. Sarcasm all day long. But but here's what's not funny. What's not funny is Kaz thinking he should do a comedy tour.
Yeah. That was more based on, I'm gonna go back out there and show y'all that I'm still here, and I could not see that happening. That wasn't gonna work.
Well, first of all, unless he was going to have security there, like church ushers, kicking everybody, every heckler out every time he opened his mouth. I mean, it would even he wouldn't even get through a set. Do you think?
Yeah, no, not at all.
I don't care what the ticket price
protesters
is.
outside would have made it difficult for him to get in the building.
Bro, they would have paid their money. They would have chipped in to send in the best hecklers and just wait every time he gets started. That was just such a, you know what, Bill? Look, you have gotten a second chance. You are out of prison. You're 84. Do like 84-year-old millionaires do. Go away. Just go away. Go buy an island somewhere, you and Camille, and just do us all a favor. You're too hot right now.
Yeah.
But the last thing we need to see is you on a stage. Dip, 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 dip. Let me tell you about jail pudding.
Oh my God, you were really going in today. It's not Jello though. That's the problem. It's like some generic version. So
it wasn't Jello pudding after all. Bill, speaking of celebrities, what do you make? So Jada Pinkett Smith cut all her hair off, like all of it. Not like a kind of a low cut. She cut it all off. Said her daughter made her do it.
Why?
I don't know. But I mean, you know, she's saying she's in her 50s now and it's about to be a whole new thing. She's about to be lit. I just know I got enough women friends who have continually tweeted out and posted, like, when a woman cuts her hair, like, watch out. So I don't know, like, Will, you may want to, like, you know, watch out. But I mean, I think, you know, first of all, I just love the Smiths. I know they've been controversial, but I love them both. I've always loved both of their acting careers. And, you know, to have to live out your marriage under the scrutiny of, like, everybody's eyes, and to try to be married that long in Hollywood is hard. It's hard enough to be married anywhere, but to be married in Hollywood, marriages don't last. And so they've gone through some very public ups and downs or whatever. But I don't know, man. Look, I'm just kind of like anticipating and excited about what's going to follow. If she did that, knowing Jada, it's like I want to see what comes next.
Yeah, I mean, Jada, it's actually interesting. She's from Baltimore. He's from Philly. If you could find two more cities that are identical, you know, you know,
right. And then end up in L.A. Right.
It's like, yeah, there's some stuff about to happen right there. There's something going down.
Oh man, well, look, as we get toward the end of this show today has been brought to you by Jello Pudding and the Eagle's Nest, a local restaurant in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. not the Fuhrer's Eagle's Nest. See, I've missed being here. Can't you tell?
Yo, it's obvious. It's very obvious.
I'm back in stride. You all had me last week. I was at the conference. I was I was on fumes, man, last week. I don't know if people could tell, but bro, you know, the general conference.
I mean, you had the one show that you got on and you were on the phone with, you know, one of the highest ranking bishops. And I'm like, dude, why are you here? Don't do the show. And you've been up all night, and I was like, wow, this is not going to be good. This is not going to be good at all. We're trying to get the show started. You're like, I can hear you in the background because your mic came off mute. And I'm like, dude, just don't do it. Don't do it.
Trying to edit video. Yeah, it's all good, though. But, hey, man, it's all good now, man. You got me now for the rest of the summer, and everything is all good. Hey, again, shout out to Joe Biden, who's going to be here today talking about voting rights, and we need to make sure that we get this right. We don't want to disenfranchise anybody. Everybody ought to have the right to vote. And so looking forward to that on today. Get a chance to unpack what he says on tomorrow morning's show, and possibly even talk about some of these other big stories that are percolating. By the way, that concert that they were advertising at the Dell in September on one of our breaks, man, I want to see that concert.
Yes.
Just as an FYI.
There's a bunch of concerts coming out. I'm like, oh, yeah. And then I'm like, I don't want to contact. So, okay.
It's outside, Royster. Bring your mask and sit on the last row.
All right, everybody. Well, thank you for joining us for the Power Hour today. Welcome back to Dr. Tyler. Thank you, Kwesi, for doing everything you do. Hold down the boards. Shout out to Selena Singleton, who is helping us out, and also Tawanda Starworth, who always fill in when Dr. Tyler is out. We appreciate each and every one of you. We want to just encourage everybody to be present today, to listen, to be patient, to love, and to do us a favor, go out and change the damn world. Stay tuned now for Solomon Jones with Wake Up with Word. Peace.